I do apologize if I am a day behind, but I wanted to talk to you all about some exciting news regarding Sony. And that is, of course, the PlayStation 5. I can't believe it, everyone. It's finally here. We now know when it's coming. I mean, this is totally unexpected that Sony would announce this. But now I'm kind of excited for E3 next year. That is interesting. That is just interesting. You know, like literally yesterday morning before I go to work, my phone's just blowing up and it says Sony confirms PlayStation 5 to be released. And I'm like, what? How did Sony just announce this news out of the blue? It is crazy. So we'll read this article from the PlayStation blog, and then we'll read another article from Wired, in which I'm going to ask Sony to do one right thing, and I'll get into it as we go along here. But again, if you're not aware, Sony has confirmed that the PlayStation 5 will be released in 2020. So that is some excellent news. Start off a new decade. And the crazy thing about, this crazy thing, which I'm going to be saying this right now, and I, have thought about this since the announcement. You're literally releasing your next console on the 20th anniversary of when the PlayStation 2 was released in 2000. And I remember, as a 4-year-old kid, wondering how great the PlayStation 1 was. Again, I used to go to friends' houses and, other people's houses, like parents' friends' houses even, how amazing the PlayStation 1 was. Again, the PlayStation 2 was the PlayStation 2, and there was the PS3, the PS4, which, I'm fine with my PS4 now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad The Last of Us 2 is coming out, which, I will mention that I just sold my disc to GameStop. I now have the game on digital download thanks to PS Plus. I really wanted to get WWE 2K20 on pre-order, but says Jim Ryan says, the CEO of Sony, that they will be launching in time for next holiday season 2020. These updates might not be a huge surprise, but Sony wants to confirm that for PlayStation fans, they're going to start revealing additional details about the vision for the next-gen console. Wired magazine, which, again, I will get to this article, which they only give me 3 articles to subscribe, but if I turn my JavaScript off, I could read it as many times as I want to, but pretty much I'm just excited. I'm stoked and wondering, again, how would this news come out of the blue? Like, that's just crazy. So, they are going to redesign the controller for the DualShock 5. With haptics, you'll truly feel a broader range of feedback, so crashing into a wall in a race car feels much more different than making a tackle on the football field. So, it looks like from hint, we know 2 things. That one, maybe they're working on another Gran Turismo game, which I hope they are. And 2, this is a sign that they may want to improve Madden. Maybe Sony is working with EA to improve the Madden NFL franchise, because that would be interesting. Alright, second innovation for the DualShock 5 is called adapted triggers, which have been incorporated into the trigger buttons L2, R2. Developers can program the resistance of the triggers so that you feel the tactical sensation of drawing a bow and arrow or accelerating an off-road vehicle through rocky terrain. So, hint, maybe developers, I don't know, 20 plus years later, would 4x4 Evo come back? Because I would love that for a next-gen console. That would literally change everything up. Now, again, I forget the maker of 4x4 Evo, which, again, I'm still stunned. Like, how could you release the first game exclusively on PlayStation and yet move the sequel, and yet don't even release a sequel on the GameCube, and like only keep it to the GameCube and the original Xbox. But 4x4 Evo 3, 20 plus years later, I'll take down the PlayStation 5. Thank you very much. But again, this is just my imagination. I mean, it would be fun to see that. I mean, it's a game that, again, I love very much, the 4x4 Evo games, but I don't know. I mean, anything can happen here. Okay, again, we have other games coming on PS4. We have Last of Us Part 2, which I'm very excited for. And hopefully, and this is why I'm just hoping that not only will we get Grand Theft Auto 6, which that's another topic for another day, but Naughty Dog now is going to have to come up with another Uncharted game because I haven't even played Uncharted 4 yet. And again, I'll get into what the big feature that I want to see, but we'll read this Wired article and then I'll just talk about the main thing I want to see, which I know a couple of other gaming YouTubers have brought up, and we'll even Google this. Like we'll Google it to see if any other new articles were brought up. With one idea that I think many people will agree with me on. Okay, so pretty much again, I'll just say this right now. My theory about the PlayStation 5, and let's just Google one thing here, and let's figure this out if maybe things are going to be correct. 2020 E3. So, do we have dates for E3? Okay, good. So we do have dates for the 2020 E3 Gaming Expo. So the E3 Gaming Expo will take place between June 9th and the 11th in 2020. So hopefully this means that in June of next year, we'll get a better idea of what PlayStation 5 will look like, will be like, and I'm glad that the date was announced all the way back in June, but still, this is when I think that they will have the announcement, like the real, like I know this was just a blog announcement. Like imagine if Rockstar just announced Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, do you know the Rockstar blog website would just crash in 5 seconds just because people have been waiting, what, 6 years since Grand Theft Auto 5 came out? Again, Grand Theft Auto, maybe I'll do another video on my theory about it because there's like so many things I'd like to see with Grand Theft Auto, but pretty much PlayStation 5 Holidays 2020. Wired had broke the story about developmental efforts of what they were known as the next-gen console. In fact, the company really didn't say anything. Sony skipped showing games at E3, which, wink wink, probably was a hint that Sony wanted to wait a year, and we're still disappointed that we didn't get a proper Last of Us 2 trailer, but still, again, at least we know Xbox has the Scarlet, but yeah, you know how cheap the Xbox One's gonna be for the holidays? I'll just quickly mention that. Like, if it's that cheap on eBay in the future, I might pick one up. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, if it's $70, $90, I'll get an Xbox One day and be like, did I really miss anything if I didn't get the Xbox One? But it'll be cheap. Okay, so let's see what else. Pretty much GPU, CPU updates. So yeah, I want to see that as well. One thing I think they need to focus on, and this is what Sony should definitely factor in for their next console, is you got to keep up with the times. I mean, 4K HD is going to be, what, maybe 4 to 5 years. So that would be one thing I like to see. But yeah, you gotta upgrade to 4K. I mean, I know people with their PS4s now, like, again, I know you can get 60 FPS, but 4K is going to be the big thing. Like, yeah, you have to make sure that 4K is standard. No excuses. Okay, not really going to get into more specifics here. Let's just take a look. UI. So again, they are changing the controller, so that's good. So, GT Sport. Now, again, maybe this will look better on the PlayStation 5, which I'll get into that. Yeah, and again, there's more developments that they would have to figure it out. But let's talk about PS5 and backwards compatible. Now, this is what I think would be appropriate to read from. So, backwards capability. Now, if they are able to put PlayStation 4 games, like, let's say we can go back to the good old days of the PlayStation 3, even though Sony double-crossed us, it only gave us PlayStation 1 backwards compatibility. No offense to Sony, but we would have been fine if our PlayStation 3s, our newer consoles, could only play PlayStation 2 games. But no, we didn't have the hardware, so we're only putting it for PlayStation 1. Okay, so again, let's see if any rumors. So we have a new controller. So again, new controllers, new adaptive triggers provide varying levels of resistance. So it'll be more environmentally friendly than the PlayStation 4. Ah! So this will be 8K! So that's huge, folks. We already have the ultra high def. And imagine a couple years when you go to the electronics store, the 8K is just going to be huge. Alright, so let's power. So that's good. I mean, they did that with the PlayStation 3 Super Slim, even though the thermal paste mistake, they gotta fix that, because the thermal paste dies out in a couple years. I don't know. I just hope they don't screw this up. Okay, so it looks like it has been confirmed. So let's see. It appears that Sony has changed its attitude towards older games. In an interview with Time in 2017, the company's head of global game development, Sean Lendon, said the ability to play old games at a new hardware, it's much requested, but not actually used much. Okay, it says that, let's see, I'm trying to see if this is correct. Currently confirmed that the PlayStation 5 will be backwards compatible with PS4, so that's good. PS5 will also play both digital and disc-based titles, meaning PS4 will have the extensive collection of physical games can play them on a new console. The BBC says backwards compatibility will not go to the PS3, PS2, or PS1. Okay, so I see it's not that much of a big deal that we're not getting PS3 backwards capability. I mean, again, I'll just openly say this, that, you know, Xbox One's going to be cheap in a couple years. Like, you'll see them on eBay for $75. But, like, I'm dead serious. I may still get an Xbox One in the future. Just because if it's cheap and like $75, $100, I would definitely pick one up. Okay, so nothing really has been confirmed. I mean, we do have the Cyberpunk game, which I'm not interested in. But it's like, they need to come up with launch titles that are reasonable. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was glad that when the PS4 first came out in 2013, that they did give us an NBA game, which, you know, I'll have to look. I still have my disc somewhere. So I know I did get it at GameStop to, you know, do an Any Plays episode. But, well, how about we do an Any Plays episode on that one day? I'll definitely do that. SSD replaces HDD. Okay. Alright, so no confirmed stuff about PS Plus. Oh, see, here's the thing. PS5 games will take longer to develop. But the thing is, and I think Rockstar, I think this is what Rockstar Games should do. And I'll just, you know, say my final thoughts before I wrap up this video. I'll just say this right now, that Rockstar Games, what they need to do is just start developing or at least figure out what they're going to do with GTA 6 now, because again, it's been 6 years since Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. All right? Think about this. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out back in 2013, and yes, I love the campaign. I mean, certainly a different take on it. They were definitely able to modernize the Grand Theft Auto series back then. But again, I'm going to say this. They have to get it right, Rockstar. And I think, and this is what they should do, and they did the right thing for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 at the time. You know, put it on the older gen first, and if Rockstar is willing to do it, which, again, I'm glad they did for the PS4 and the Xbox One, you know, put it there. If you think that you can figure it out with Sony and Microsoft with the Scarlet, and Sony with the PlayStation 5, then at this point, I would just say that, and I'll just mention it, release it beforehand, get it ready for the next consoles, and make us fans happy, because we've been waiting for a Grand Theft Auto game for years. For many years. I mean, listen, I know there are psychopaths here on YouTube that, you know, make videos all the time. Hey, I got Grand Theft Auto 6 early. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm smart, guys. You know this about me over the years. I don't get scammed. I know what's legit and what's not legit. And again, if Grand Theft Auto 6 was to be announced, I would have been notified by Rockstar on their YouTube channel, because I get the notifications from them. And to double confirm it, I would go on the Rockstar Newswire website. So, look, I mean, I'm happy with Madden. I play Madden a lot. I'm grateful to Sony that they gave me The Last of Us to download on my PS Plus so I can get rid of my disc. I'm grateful that they gave me the show. And by the way, I am renewing my PS Plus because I still love my PS4 to death. Like, I still love my PS4 console. Like, it's literally right next to me as we speak. But still. Oh, and by the way, I am playing MLB's show, which I'll do any plays on that this month. But you know, there's so many games I want to play on the PS4. Like, I'm not done with it. And if Sony's gonna confirm that PS4 games are backwards capable, then yes, I will get a PS5 immediately. Because, and this is what I've learned from past experience, is that, you know, no backwards capability, then you're not getting my money. All right, that's how it works. Nintendo was able to convince me with the Wii when I had my GameCube, and I made the right decision. I still have my Wii. It's downstairs in my living room in the box still, because that's how much I love the Wii. Like, I used to play it back in the day, but like, again, when you love the PS4 so much, trust me, there's a whole debate on that. Like, my Wii was my go-to when I was 12 or 13 years old. Like, that's how much I love the Wii. Like, the Wii had good games back in the day. We had very good, reasonable games. Now, granted, you know, no PS3, no Xbox 360 until years later, but I'm trying to say here is that I'm glad we know about it, but let's take our time with it. Let's not just make Sony force us to give them, you know, to give us more details, because I think we need to be reasonable with them. We need to take our time. And honestly, as I look at my DualShock 4 controller right now, I say to myself, one last question. Please keep the buttons the same. With the triangle, the square, the circle, and the X. Please. Don't get rid of those buttons. All I'm asking. That's what makes Sony great for PlayStation consoles. Which I will admit that. So I'm done here. I've said all I could say. You know, I don't want to ramble on any longer. So, I will say this right now, and you all on my word. When Grand Theft Auto 6 is officially announced, I will be here, and I will react to the news. And again, I will read the official Rockstar Games newswire because I want to be fair with you guys. I don't want to be one of those troll YouTube channels that says, oh, hey, look, I got GTA 6 early. No. All right? Not doing that. Never going that route, guys. Yeah, my word. And I'm going to keep my word to you guys. All right? And I'm definitely going to make the money happen to get GTA 6. Either it's on PS4 or the PS5. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to see what I can do. Because, look, I know it's been years. I can wait. You know, I'm getting WWE in a couple weeks. In fact, I'll mention that my ex is actually going to maybe get me NHL 20 for my birthday. I'm hoping she does because she winked at me about that idea. So there's other games to play, you know. The other games. So not a rush. When Grand Theft Auto 6 is announced, I'll be here, cover it, and I'll react to it. Alright? On my word. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this video. Thank you all very much for watching. Also, I'll mention one quick thing. If there are any more details about the PlayStation 5 that's officially from the Sony website, I will be back with that information. So you also have my word on that. Until the next one, please take care.